What's up? What's up? Welcome back here for another recap video. Today we're going to go through the trades that we had here on INBS from Friday, and as well as maybe some trades or just the days of the week this week, because this week was my record week. For those of you who are involved in the community, you probably already know this already, but I beat my record week by 2 times. So I doubled my previous best week prior to this week, and I was starting to notice towards the end of the week, um, like a sense of elation, and that was actually, I'm a very intuitive person, and I feel like a lot of traders are very intuitive, because to be successful at trading, you need to be intuitive. You need to recognize the things going on in yourself, also the things going on in the markets, and a lot of that information, a lot of that knowledge comes from like subconscious recognition, subconscious knowledge that you learn over time. And so you learn to just be naturally intuitive after trading for so long. But I was noticing just in myself, I was getting into a state of elation, overconfidence. My sense of self-worth was like really rising to levels that were like that could be dangerously high in the market, because everything I was doing, I felt like it was kind of going in my favor. And while that is a good thing, like while it feels good to be in that state, it is actually dangerous for for the market. It's dangerous for your trading performance, because if you get overconfident and you're on top of the world, one bad mistake, man, it can come crashing hard down, and you're gonna be left picking up the pieces, and you're gonna go flip from super high sense of self-worth to down in the despair of Davy Jones' locker, feeling like shit, knowing that you made a mistake that you could have avoided in a situation. So it's important to really understand where you're at emotionally, your sense of self-worth, and it's really hard to kind of disconnect your sense of self-worth from your performance in the market. It's very, very hard. You have to have a very high level of mindfulness to recognize it. But a lot of us, especially the beginner traders, we assign our sense of self-worth with our performance in the market, and most of the time we're not performing well, especially when you're a beginner. So your sense of self-worth is in the shithole, is in the gutter most of the time. So we never really experience that sense of self-worth where it's super high, because we're just battling the market every day. It's a struggle. We're just struggling, trying to even feel good about ourselves with our trading. But once you get experienced, and you're on a hot streak, you're going to start to experience states of overconfidence, elation, and those are so dangerous. You have to, part of yourself is going to want to stay in that state because it feels good. Your ego is just like feeding off of it. But it's important, that is a dangerous place to be. It's important to reel yourself in, and some ways you can do that is meditation, reading books, doing things that require a lot of focus, but that is not sort of a distraction, not so much high energy. So like reading, meditation, just going for a walk with no headphones, just no distraction, just going for a walk and enjoying a walk for the sake of walking. What else? Reading, meditation, yoga, walking, going for a run, going to the gym without any headphones, not blasting music in your ears. You want to bring your energy levels down a little bit. And the way I even recognized that was just, I was noticing, I was sleeping like shit. My sleep schedule was terrible. I wasn't sleeping Wednesday night, Thursday night. I was just very restless, anxious. I had high amounts of energy. I had moments where I felt like on top of the world. And while this, it's just important to recognize that and resolve the issue before it ends in disaster, is what I'm trying to say. And thank God it did not end in disaster towards the end of the week, because by Friday, man, I was so drained. I was drained because I wasn't sleeping. I got in on INBS. I was trading the first, couple minutes of INBS, and then this red to green move, and that was it. I was done, and I was exhausted. and thank God it didn't really end up in a bad trade or anything like that, or I had a blowout day. And after that, I wanted to disconnect from the market. I didn't want to look at any charts. I didn't want to study for like a good 24 hours. I didn't want to do anything just because I needed to. I know I needed to bring myself down a little bit. I needed to bring myself down. And so that's what I did. And that's why I didn't make a recap on Friday. But here I am on Sunday. Let's make the recap and review the trades for INBS. And hopefully by Monday, by tomorrow, I definitely feel a lot more reset. I recognize that, coming in on Monday, whatever happened last week was last week's events. It's not any indication of what's going to happen on Monday, not any indication it's going to happen on Tuesday. So every day I'm starting at 0, and my emotional baseline needs to be back at 0. I'm not in, if I had a shitty week last week, if you guys had a shitty week last week, on Monday, you're at 0, just along with everyone else. And your emotional center, your emotional confidence, your sense of self-worth needs to be back at baseline. And that's the struggle with a lot of trading, is just, making sure that, you're always resetting your confidence, resetting your sense of self-worth about yourself every single day, back to baseline, back to 0, because every single day is different. And the previous day doesn't always equate to what's going to happen the next day, and similar week by week and month by month. So it's really hard to completely disconnect your sense of self-worth from your trading performance, but the best we can do is by recognizing when we are getting either overconfident or over sense of self-elation, sense of self-worth, or under sense of self-worth, or low sense of self-worth, low confidence, feeling like crap about yourself, and resetting that every single day back to 0. So tomorrow I'm definitely going to be back to baseline. Going to detach whatever happened last week from what's going to happen on Monday, and just come in fresh. And that's the best way to go about trading throughout your journey. So let's go through INBS. I did have some decent trades on it. All right, so INBS, I really like this because we had a nice pre-market chart here. It wasn't overtraded. Hasn't been trading since like 7 a.m. It just started popping up around 9. And we did have news on, I think it was a Q2 results or something like that. I think it was Q2 results. I can take a look at it again, but yeah, so yeah, Q2 revenue is up. And I like this because, it had increasing volume, it was holding the highs, it was consolidating above VWAP and consolidating near the highs. The daily chart was decent. We were over we had a lot of room to the 200 EMA on the daily, which is always a good sign. You had a break of pivots here on the 180-day charts, which the previous high was at 635. So 635 kind of acting as a magnet, or 640 acting as a magnet for potential resistance. So INBS here at the open, kind of looking for a dip and a rip. Kind of looking for the classic dip and a rip momentum strategy. And okay, so we're at the open here. I think I butcher some of these trades. I actually do really bad the first couple minutes. So I mistimed that dip there. I was in there, and now I'm in here at 22, out at 28, back in at 27. Selling back there at 420. I thought we were just going to surge right through the high, but I was a little early, so I took a 7-cent loss. Now we reclaim back towards the high of that candle. So I'm thinking, all right, we have to break out, right? We have to break out. So I get back in, small size, 500 shares, 425, out for break even. So it looks like I mistimed that, and it looks like I butchered. I let it go without me there, and then we finally break 450. I'm trying to get in at 450. But we pop, and I get filled at 458, and taking the loss at 453. So a rough 1 minute there for me. I think I'm down quite a bit here. I think I was even red. I was red coming into the open because I did take a couple trades on, I think, MINM or something like that pre-market, and I was down already 50, 60 bucks at the coming into the open. Added some more losses there. Looks like I tried to catch that 1 minute new high for maybe a push higher, but it wasn't that strong, and I did take a break-even trade there, but beautiful dip here. This is a great dip. So we get that, trying to catch a break at 460. We did break to 460. I had the great entry, great timing and everything, but it just wasn't a good trade. The market was not that strong to continue that much higher. So we pull back, and this is a great dip here. Boom, right there. So your classic dip on a front side move here, holding pre-market highs, increasing volume. Sort of a bullish open. So got in there at 435, out at 438, 10 cents. That's 11 cents right there. So already made back a nice chunk of that loss. Now I'm getting back in 1,000 shares at 450. Out at break even there, or small loss. Got back in at 455, 445. I'm kind of looking for a continuation trade. I see the bottoming tail. And so there I'm in at 45, out at 52. Get back in. I'm trying to catch now the surge back through the high. Catching the surge back to the high, 452, and retest the highs. I take it off at 62. It's another $100 in my pocket right there, and I can push size even harder than this. I know I can push size even harder than this. I can double or triple my share size and not have any, and have minimal difference in the fills that I get in the market. So I know I can push even farther. The only thing holding me back right now is my confidence, and that's just gonna come over time. It's just gonna come over time. Just gotta practice, practice on slowly increasing that share size, and not having anything that's completely outsized to the downside, any outsized losers to really affect that confidence. So as long as I keep my losses tight and slowly increase size, I'll get there for sure. So here we do reject those highs. We pull back. Looks like I had a break-even dip there, but now we're retesting that previous breakout area, 460. So if we can break back over 460, we might be able to reclaim this wick. Because right now, we're still kind of holding low. It's not backside yet. We didn't have that false breakout. It's not an obscenely high volume. We're holding and reclaiming that previous breakout area. So if we can break back over that previous breakout area, it's still bullish. So let's get in there at 460. So I'm 500 shares, and I take it off at 467. So another beautiful trade there. Now we start reclaiming the wick here. And doesn't feel as strong. The volume's still low. Now we're breaking back below 460. This is a little bit of a no man's land for me right now, unless we start to see buying. And it's still very slow here. I don't like it for the breakout. It's a little bit too soon. It's a little bit too soon right here for the catch to break at 487. A little bit probably extended on the 5 minute as well. One minute new high setup, maybe. 1 minute new high setup would be the entry or the dip. If we can come down to 440, maybe 438. All right, here we go. 438, 447. There we go. 1,000 shares there at 45. Boom, out at 52 and out at 53. Beautiful trade there. Beautiful dip buy. Now I'm back in the green, back in the driver's seat. Took that dip again at 450, out at 456. These are beautiful dip buys, man. Like I could punch this for 2,500 shares and not see a difference in the trade. And I would double my profit. Double or triple my profit. So there's so much more ground to cover here before I run into problems with liquidity. And that's good news. It should be good news. There's a lot more, you know, area for improvement before my strategy starts to become affected. So today could have been a potential as well for another $1,000 day, but it just did not work out that way. So here's another dip at 456. So as we were kind of making that bottoming tail, I said we might see another test of the high. So let's get in there at 58, and I'm out there at 66, getting back in for the 1 minute new high. So, you know, take my quick 10-cent profit and then look for another entry, which is now going to be the break of the 1 minute new high. Do hesitate at the high there, so I do take a small loss just to manage my risk. It does end up going as I did sell that a little bit too soon, or, you know, maybe I mistimed that, but it's all good. But it does again feel a little bit weak up here to the highs. We should be ripping. If it was strong, it would be up to $5. $5 now, breaking $5. So we don't break out. Now it's considered a false breakout. Maybe sometimes you get that extra test. So I did get back in there at 76. So getting back in there at 82, out at 80. We're just not closing near the highs. Yeah. Not strong here. Not strong. At this point, I'm telling myself, hands off, pause off, pause off. You're going to be getting a flush here. So pretty decent trade so far. Capitalizing on this opening volatility. Let's see when I take the next trade. That was a small loss there. There's a small gain there. So kind of just one step forward, one step back here in the range. Maybe small gains. I see this flagging out. I really want the curl now through break of 5, but we don't actually end up getting it. And then I start getting lag on this platform. I start lagging on this platform. So I had to actually close my system. But let's jump towards now to the red to green move. So breaking back over VWAP, getting that pullback right under $5, or no, $4.50, $4.50. I'm on smaller share size now. I think I do size up a little bit more, but so here's the classic red to green move. So you have to imagine that shorts are now piled in here at 490 to 460. Right here, boom, break of 460, you get that quick 25-cent pop from shorts covering. I do completely butch this trade. Well, not terribly, actually. I got back in there. So this part I did. I missed it. And then I FOMO'd into the high at 480 and then taking a 2-cent or 1-cent loss. Then we pull back, boom, nice pullback there at 475. I'm looking for that next move up. So you get that initial pop, maybe some profit taking or some shorts adding to their position at the high. We pull back, buyers step in, boom, next move. There, 300 shares, added another 300, adding another 300 for the break at a high, 900 shares. I'm up some decent here, taking my profits, still holding 300 shares, kind of looking for that. I want to see that surge to 5. I want to see that surge to 5. We don't get it. I should be taking my 300 off here, but we pull back. I'm looking for a bigger move here, so I want to hold the starter position, which I rarely do, but I ended up taking it off at the worst time. But that's just how it goes sometimes. I get back in 500 shares at 76, out at 76, so break even. We do come a little bit lower, and I time this dip perfectly, man. So in at 76 again, or out at 76, and come down a little bit lower. Come down a little bit lower. Come on. And waiting. Still kind of in an indecision. me come down a little bit lower, and boom, right there, I jump in 67 immediately in the green, taking my profit at 73. Could have held it for a bigger move. Could have held it for a bigger move. Jump back in at 470. Out at 477. Back in at 82. Out at 82. So kind of just scalping here. As buying comes in, I just want to ride the buy. Ride the buying volume and then take my profits. We're about to get a sweet move here through 5. Quick scalp there for 2 cents, 500 shares. And again, I can push this even harder. I should be doing like 500 shares again at 81, out at 82. Just a small scalp there. Trying to time this breakout. We do make that 1 minute new high, but we do struggle there. Take a small loss. Looks like we had some resistance at the top of that red candle, and then we finally broke out at 490. But again, like it's struggling here for a second. I'll get in. I'm looking for that immediately break of $5. I'm in 1,000 shares and then take a small loss there. Well, you know, $60 loss there, $60, $70 loss there, and it gets back over that level. So I got faked out there, and then I just jumped in at 518. I was in 500 shares, selling here at 41. So really ended up being a really decent trade. A nice 30-cent winner. Or is that like a 23 cent winner? So that was again one of my better trades of the day, and that was it. I wrapped it up there. I had a couple scalps in here. I can review these because these are a little bit more advanced sort of strategy, kind of just scalping that volatility after that breakout. So it's an extended dip buy at 94, in at 94, out at 99. Because this is risky stuff, because once you start to see that topping tail, it's actually a sign there's a lot of selling. You know, it could be a little bit risky that it could flip red on you. So it is a little bit riskier. But again, these can be very high profitable setups. So back in here for the break over 5, in at 499, and break that back over 5, out at 502, back in at 5 and 5, back out at 513. So these are like back-to-back small winners adding up. In at 512, we don't push much farther. In at 419, we do push actually. In at 512, out at 519. Another nice trade there. In at 525, 526. I don't think we push much farther from there. So you had that nice big move. We had that panic dip, and we still have some buyers interested. Probably from a little bit of a FOMO after seeing that move, or maybe some shorts are still kind of trapped. In at 503, out at 505. So these are small gains. I'm not looking for a bigger move here, just looking to take my profits. 507, 511. So this is like 6 wins in a row here. I seem to be on fire in this little range that we got. In at 505, out at 506. That was more break even actually, but back in at 506 and 510. I think it was in what, 1,000 shares? No. Yeah, whatever. 506, and then I had a fill at 510, and they got out at 507 and 509. So that was more break even there. couple small scalps. That was actually a small loss there. I think that's it. I think we flush back down here. Yeah, no other significant trades in this area. Yeah. We attempted another red to green down here, but failed. And that was it. That was it for me on INBS. We did get that red to green later on, but this is a little choppy in this area, but had some potential. But I was done trading by then. I was exhausted, like I was saying, and just wanted to get some distance from the market. So that day turned out to be a $617 day on Friday. We can pull this up here. So, you know, the week, pretty decent. So 1,300, then 800, then 250, then 617. So adding up to about a $3,000 week. And my previous best week was only 1,450. So doubled my profits for my best week ever, which is great. But like I said, you know, this next week, starting Monday, is back to zero, and I have to treat it fresh. You know, last week doesn't matter anymore. Last week doesn't matter. So, you know, maybe whatever happens in the future, you know, is independent of what will happen, of what has happened. So I can't come in like thinking that I'm on top of the world here, ready to swing for the fences, because, you know, that just doesn't work like that. You know, being successful, you know, you can't act like that. You have to be consistently under construction with your strategy, always trying to refine. You know, whenever you think that you got it, you don't got it. Whenever you think that you got it, the market is going to beat your ass so goddamn hard that, you know, you won't be able to sit for a week. So it's important to, you know, maintain composure, maintain being professional, maintain being humble. And if you're not humble, the market will humble you. So I don't want the market to humble me. So I'm going to humble myself, you know, maintain discipline, maintain my composure, staying dialed in with the market, staying focused, and not letting my ego get out of control here. So that's very important. So on the week, I think we can pull up the week stats, but here's my stats for the day. I was on after commission 609. Not really any large outsized winners, up 114 for my largest win. 50-50, which is fine. It's usually like my average with accuracy. You know, my average position cost definitely has increased over the past month, but, you know, I can increase it even more. Previous average position cost last month was about 1,400, and in December it was like 1,000. So, you know, increasing it slowly over time. Maybe this month my goal should be over 2,000 for my average position cost, but again, that also determines about you know, what kind of market we're going to be in. You know, the market could cool off as well, and if the market cools off, I got to adjust my expectations with my share size and also with my profit goals. So everything is very, you know, everything is very, you know, it's not black or white. It's very much, you know, what you get in the moment. Subjective and you know, situational. So we can pull up now the week. So what was it, the 29th, 1/29. Again, this is a trade journal. You guys can sign up this for free. It should be a free sign up form in the homepage of tradejournal.co. There should be a link in the description. For the week, yeah, right under 3K, but I'm gonna round up because what the hell, close enough. Largest win, 325, which is great. You know, 52 to 48 accuracy, juicy. 2-to-1 risk reward, that's juicy. You know, nice profit margin. So everything is looking good with the statistics. The only thing I can increase here is the average position costs, and that's just going to come down. This is my limitations. This is what I'm putting on myself. So, you know, I'm doing this to myself. So it's not the markets really. It's just the level of confidence that I have right now in myself. And, you know, that's going to improve over time. I got to improve that slowly over time. You know, I don't want to completely just, you know, 10x it, because if you 10x it, you take a loss. I could be under PDT and I'm back to square one. So, you know, my trading account is my lifeline, and I have to treat it that way, and, you know, make small responsible improvements over time. And the success is more likely to come that way. So looking forward to next week. Looking forward to waking up and trading tomorrow. Hopefully you guys did well this week. We had a lot of nice runners. There's a lot to study. PALI, MINM, was it PSCA, INBS, PXLW, all those tickers. We had some great momentum. NEXI as well. RVSN, another one. So lots of good moves this week that we can study up on. So take advantage of that. Study up. It's important. You can't just show up and trade and not do anything else. You got to make sure you study and just continually be watching your film, and you'll definitely improve. So thanks for tuning in for the recap, and see you guys tomorrow for the pre-market pump. For those who tune in for the pre-market pump, if not, we do pre-market pump 8:45 a.m. Eastern time. We review our pre-market scanner. You guys will get a lot of value out of that. Otherwise, have a great week. Have a great rest of your weekend. Get some rest tonight and be ready for tomorrow for market open. All right. If you're still watching, hit that thumbs up button. You're the OG. Hit that subscribe button if you're new, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.